Hello everyone, I'm Afrin Karanjia and welcome back to the very new episode of Streaming Live powered by Team Adventures. Before we begin our session, I just have few instructions to read on. Our speaker's view may or may not resonate with you. Avoid using comments that can offend any race, culture, or religion. And if you ever get disconnected from a session, please feel free to rejoin us again. Thank you. When it comes to Parsis, Khawanu Pivanu Majani life, but there is always more to it than what meets the eye. Our today's guest speaker is Tanya Horsey, who is a Pakistani-Canadian filmmaker based in Toronto, who has built a portfolio of award-winning films which have been screened in the festivals such as Hot Docs, TIFF, Real Asian, and acquired by CNNS, Great Big Story, NBC, Fox Corporation, WestJet, Alaska Airlines, and San Francisco Airport. For past 8 years, Tanya has focused her career path towards the strategic storytelling and landing her coveted role as a lead producer at Shopify. In addition to her professional career, Tanya enjoys volunteering her time for the Zoroastrian community. Since 2018, Tanya has been the lead coordinator for the Zoroastrian Return to the Roots program. She was selected to be the participant in the world's first Zoroastrian Youth Leader Forum in UK and has been a speaker at the 7th Zoroastrian Youth Congress. In 2020, Tanya has been honored to be appointed as the first Chief Social Media Officer for Fezana, the largest body of Zoroastrian in North America. She is currently leading a team of 4 young Zoroastrians to create an engaging content and connect the global Zoroastrian community. Tanya is committed to her community, and her achievements in the career led her to be awarded the Fezana Performing and Creative Arts Scholarship in 2019. Today, it is an honor for me to interview Tanya and discuss with her about Fezana and WZC. I bid a very warm welcome to my show, Tanya.
Thank you for such a kind introduction. I'm happy to be here.
Thank you. And it's an honor for me to have you. And to begin with my very first question, Tanya, you are a producer and a chief social media officer at Fezana. Can you tell us more about yourself and your life journey so far?
Of course, I'm happy to. I was born in Pakistan, so I am from the Parsi community there. Growing up in Canada, I always had a really great interest in my religious community. I did religion classes here in Toronto. And then I think I kind of got a bit disconnected when I started exploring my secondary studies. So when I was in university studying film. So what really got me reconnected to the Zoroastrian community was this trip called the Zoroastrian Return to Roots trip, which is organized by Fezana. And essentially it's a 2-week trip in India that lets Zoroastrian youth in the diaspora reconnect with their culture, reconnect with their history and their religion, specifically from in India. And that was a really nice way for me to kind of connect with more youth, connect with my religious community again. And the trip was so profoundly impactful on me that I remember telling Arzan, who is Fezana president currently and is one of the main directors of that program. I'm like, I would love to get more involved. Let me know if there's any way I want to stay in touch with my Zoroastrian community. And after that, I became a coordinator for the trip, and I've coordinated 2 additional trips since attending personally. And I, as you mentioned, was a leader on the first Zoroastrian Youth Leaders Forum, and that was amazing, an amazing experience. And when the pandemic happened and the community was unable to meet up anymore, being appointed chief social media officer was another great way for me to give back to this community that's given me so much. And yeah, and that's what I'm continuing to do. And now my goal is to get as many youth involved as possible, youth that could relate to my experience of being disconnected with the community so that they can find a better purpose to kind of find their way back in.
So that's an amazing journey. So since you're a part of Fezana, it would be great if you can tell us what Fezana is all about.
Of course, I'd be happy to. So just to sum it up, Fezana stands for Federation of Zoroastrian Associations of North America. It's a nonprofit religious group which serves as the coordinating body for 27 Zoroastrian associations, as well as 14 corresponding groups or committees across the United States and in Canada. And to sum it up, Fezana represents a diverse and growing Zoroastrian community in North America. I hope that answers your
So
question.
yes. So how does Fezana empower and motivate the youth, the Zoroastrian youth of North America?
Of course. So the Fezana is a great way for us to make sure that we're taking into account how are the youth doing across North America. It's not always the easiest being Zoroastrian in the diaspora, especially when everybody lives really far away across a massive amount of land. If you consider Canada, which is the second largest country in the world. So what Fezana does is it allows us to feel connected, even though geographically we may not be right next to each other, because we do not live in colonies here. You know, that just cannot be possible. Whereas when I grew up in Pakistan, I lived in one, and it was nice having, you know, your gyari few footsteps away, having all your family and friends like right outside. I mean, that's such a great experience on its own. I'm so grateful I had that experience, but you don't get that experience here. Or even if the second you move outside of India and Pakistan, you will not get that experience. So it's a great way for us to be like, okay, how do we make sure the youth are still engaged, still feel that their religious community is relevant in their lives and important to their lives? So what we established is called ZINA. It's the Zoroastrian Youth of North America. It is a Fezana committee that's purpose is to make sure that we integrate youth to the religious community, make sure that they have some sort of purpose, they have events that keep them engaged, and they have opportunities that help them grow in their professional careers. And that committee is led currently by Parshan and Farzin, Parshan Khosravi and Farzin Avari, and they're amazing co-chairs for that committee. And if anyone wants more information, you can check out our social media at the Fezana across Facebook, across Instagram and Twitter, and even LinkedIn. And you can keep up to date for ZINA events that are associated, that are hosted, and anyone can attend those. Sometimes we will put the caveat that it is for youth under 35 years of age, but most of the time, everybody can attend. Doesn't matter where in the world you are, and you do not have to be from North America to attend. And to use an example for some things that we have done for the youth, we have academic scholarships every year. So those are, we give out over $70,000 in scholarships every year to several youth. That's a really amazing initiative that we've hosted at Fezana, and that is only possible because of the generous donations that come in to Fezana from Zoroastrians across the world. In some cases, I've seen young Zoroastrians who benefited from these scholarships go on to have prosperous careers and then donate themselves back to the scholarship that has, benefited them as well. And that's been so incredible to experience. And then we have events as well for youth. We have every Sunday, actually, they have a session where youth can drop in and just chat about whatever they want to. And that's a nice way to stay connected with youth. And I'm just touching the very surface of this. There's just so much that goes on within the ZINA committee. There are, I believe, roughly 30 youth that volunteer for that committee. It's probably our largest committee that we have, which is incredible to see that there's so many youth that are involved. And despite people thinking that youth are not engaged in North America, I have to say confidently that is not the case. Youth are so incredibly engaged and so strategic. And it just makes me so happy to see that, there's still that Zoroastrianism is still relevant to them. And no matter in what way, it's unique to every individual, but they still want to see their religious community prosper, which is why they get involved.
Correct. And I think that's the best way, to bring the youth towards our community and work not only for the betterment of our community, but also for the betterment of the world. So, yes. And that's amazing. So when it comes to Fezana, you're running a huge organization, combining all the people from different age groups and all. So what are the key points one should keep in mind while building a community organization?
Honestly, my key point that I keep mentioning, and I strongly believe in, is getting youth involved. If you are building any kind of Zoroastrian community across the globe, you have to get youth involved because they are going to be the leaders of tomorrow. And if you don't get them involved soon enough, they're not going to be able to find an easy way to integrate into a leadership position when the time comes. And I'm seeing those struggles in some places where certain positions might have been gatekept by lots of older adults. And I would love to see that when we come together and as a community, that we see that there's more youth in leadership positions than there have been in the past, because they're the ones who are going to be able to then bring in other youth to get involved, to be engaged. And I commonly hear the youth aren't involved, they're not attending this, they're not attending that. It's because we're not involving them. You have to bring them in, invite them. They're not necessarily always going to do that. So for example, when I felt really disconnected from my community, I was in that similar position. I was like, I guess I don't really need to get involved. It's okay. I can live without this. And if it wasn't for the fact that someone came up to me and said, hey, there's this amazing trip. It's called Return to Roots. You have to attend it. You're going to enjoy it. Just please go. Don't think twice about it. Just attend and see if you like it or not, and that really changed my life in a huge way. So, it was because someone invited me in. So I just recommend for people trying to build a community across the world, invite youth, not only to attend any kind of meetings, but to have a strong leadership position within whatever foundation you're building. I think that's integral for a community to prosper.
Beautiful answer. That's a beautiful answer. And, since we are talking about Fezana and, this time Fezana is hosting WZC. So what is WZC and how Fezana is working in collaboration with WZC?
Of course. So WZC stands for the World Zoroastrian Congress. It happens every 4 years and it's been hosted all across the world. So this year it's going to be hosted in New York City, July 1st to the 4th. And that is why Fezana is hosting it, because it's going to be happening in North America. Essentially, their goal is across the 4 days is to promote or equip attendees with the tools to recover from any uncertainty, especially during COVID, and rebalance our lives and reconnect us with the worldwide community. So you're going to have around 1,000 Zoroastrians across the entire globe attending the Congress across the 4 days in New York City. So it's such an incredible experience because that's not something a lot of people in the diaspora ever get to experience, being around 1,000 Zoroastrians all at once from all these different geographical locations. So you're going to automatically be exposed to incredible learnings and experiences Zoroastrians have from different parts of the world where they live. You're going to meet Zoroastrians from Dubai, from Australia, New Zealand, the UK, of course, Canada and the US will be strongly present there just because of how close we are to the location. But, it's like maybe somebody from India comes and has never met a Zoroastrian who grew up in Canada, so they get to connect. It's such a great networking opportunity as well for Zoroastrians of all ages. So that's essentially the goal. It's a mixture of programs and sessions to educate us, to connect us, for us to discuss topics that matter to us, but then also for us to network with each other, for the youth to meet each other. And when I say it's for all ages, it's because it truly is. If you have a young child, as young as like just being born, to a young teen, we have specific things available to support you so you can attend the program as an adult. And not have to worry about taking care of them. So we have a babysitting service that's going to be there for very young children from infancy to, I think, early toddler. We're going to have a child program for kids to interact and have fun. And then we're going to have like a teens program as well. So these are all separate tracks from the actual Congress, which is more suited for adults, anyone like 16 and up. So it's just been so incredibly put together by the Congress team. I will not be able to list them all, but if you go on their website, which is wzc2022.nyc, you will see all the information you need there, including registration. And I should bring up for registration that today actually is the last day to get the early bird rate. It's the lowest rate you're ever going to get for this entire Congress. So if you are listening at the right time. If you are interested, I'd recommend you register right away. That way you secure that lowest rate because it will go up tomorrow. And all that information is there online on the website. And I'll repeat it again. It's wzc2022.nyc.
I think all those who want to be a part of this can register themselves by today itself to get an early bird discount. Now,
I do recommend it. Yes.
Now, what are the activities that are taking place in 2022 WZC event?
There's going to be a lot. There's going to be incredibly engaging sessions. There's things for young Zoroastrians. There's going to be a whole session for young Zoroastrians. There's going to be Zoroastrian women, voices of today, leaders of tomorrow session. There's going to be a Faith Matters session, a session for Mobeds as well. I mean, there's so many, I won't be able to list them all off, but there's going to be ones about religious education and how we can reimagine it. It's just this incredibly well thought out program that you'll be able to attend during the day. There's also going to be evening sessions too. So evening events, activities. So there is this whole entire opportunity to actually just go sightseeing in New York. I mean, you're in New York City. What an incredible city to be in.
I know that.
We're going to make sure you have lots of time to go and connect with Zoroastrians and go out there and explore that city because there's just so much to see. So there are some events being planned for that. There's going to be the World Zoroastrian Symphony Orchestra, which is the only orchestra consisting only of Zoroastrian musicians, and they're going to perform for us, which is going to be an incredible experience. I personally have never seen them perform, so like I think this is like a really unique opportunity to have that. And there's going to be a banquet gala dinner, I believe, on the last night, where everybody comes in traditional wear. People will be wearing saris, garas, duglies, you know, and just
Correct.
imagine 1,000 Zoroastrians all wearing that at once.
And to have a good feel of Zoroastrian culture.
Exactly. I think that'll be such a great experience. That alone, I think, is just worth registering, because you really can't put a price point to this. If you can afford to attend, please do. I recommend it. It happens every 4 years. So it's not too frequent. And it's such an incredible experience to just go and meet other Zoroastrians.
Yes. And, you know, since you're talking about all these activities that are going to take place, I know that, you know, it's going to be full of fun, full of learning, and, you know, a lot of networking taking place within our community itself.
Yes.
And is there anything like, you know, coming around by hybrid or anything for those who cannot attend the event in person?
I don't know as yet. I think we'll learn as things move on, but as it's currently stands, there is no plan for this to have a hybrid virtual event. So it is going to be entirely in person. So that's the best way to experience it.
Okay. And how can one register themselves for 2022 WZC event, and what are the registration process? And again, is there an early bird offer, if you can talk about it again?
Yeah. So I recommend, if you do plan to attend and you're very confident you're going to, that you sign up today to just get that early bird offering. If you can, it's still fine. It'll go up slightly. But perhaps you're waiting because you want to see if you get your visa in time, and that I totally understand. So if you need a visa, for example, to attend, I recommend you get that visa first. Go to your local US embassy in your country, find out what you need to submit to get your visa, and get that process done right away. Do not prolong that, because that's just going to make you wait longer and longer. And that's going to really take longer for you to book your flights, your hotel, and everything. So get that done right away. To register, it's so simple. It's such a simple process. They've done an incredible job. It takes literally a minute or two. You just hop on to wzc2022.nyc, click on registration, and in a couple of clicks, and after inputting your payment information, it's all done. You're all set up.
Okay. And can you shed some light on 2022 WZC award process?
Oh, yes. So at the World Congress, there is going to be the World Zrtushti Community Award. So quite a few awards are going to be handed out to individuals that really excel in that category. So just to list off a few examples, there's going to be an Iconic Zrtushti Award, a Community Service Award, one for Science, Technology, Engineering, and Medicine, a Creative Award. There's going to be a Social Entrepreneur Award, Diversity Award, and the Rising Outstanding Young Zrtushti Stars Award. So in order to actually qualify, you just have to take a look on the website again under awards. The deadline for you to receive a nomination is March 1st of this year. So you need at least one person to nominate you by then for that category. So I recommend, if you do feel like you're qualified for an award, reach out to somebody and ask them to nominate you, and then they can quickly fill out that form and just provide them with all the details. I think they believe that there's up to 2,000 words max. They have to do a write-up about your achievements so that they can then decide if you are going to receive that award or not. You just need one nomination. That's all it takes. And yeah, that's it. So get that done by March 1st.
Great. And how can our entire community work together for the betterment? You know, we are only talking about our Fezana and WZC, but when it comes to, you know, work for the betterment of our own community, what can we do?
I mean, there's so many things. This is probably my opinion, but I think it's just based on my experience so far and involvement in the community. One is like, and I think this is something that comes up often, is just like stopping inner fighting. I think we have to just work together. We're never going to completely align. There's just no way, because we are all completely separated geographically. We all now have different cultures. Like Afrin, you and I are completely different culturally. I mean, I grew up in Canada,
Correct.
you know, like what my values are going to be so different, and they're always going to be so different than yours. And that's okay. I mean, I think that's the beauty of humanity. We're never going to be the same. Why would we want to be? So what connects us is our religion. It's our ancestors, it's our history. And I think too often we get too fixated on things that separate us or make us different than like what what is our commonality? Like, I think our commonalities is we all want Zoroastrianism to flourish and to continue on for generations to come and be a positive community for our youth to grow up in. So I think the best way for us to do that is to then focus on that, focus on our commonalities and work together for the future generations. I don't think there's really much else that we should focus on immediately than that. And then also then taking care of the both extreme ends of the age range. Let's take care of our youth, the youngest, and make sure that they have a feel like they have a purpose in this community. So helping them out with leadership positions, helping them out with their careers, and then also taking care of our seniors. You know, after people get much older, I feel like there's still so much work to do to make sure our seniors are taken care of across the globe, that their welfare is taken care of. And that's something I know Fezana is also focused on. We have a whole committee focused on that. So I think that's really it. Let's find our commonalities. Let's take care of the youngest and the oldest. And I think that will help us prosper as a community.
Correct. And, you know, there's this quote which says unity in diversity. And that is what I believe that we should work together upon, and I'm sure that our community will flourish even more than it is flourishing right now. So
Yes.
how can one, like, you know, if somebody wants to volunteer for Fezana or WZC, so how can one associate with Fezana and WZC for volunteering purpose?
Mm-hmm.
And can Zoroastrians from different community be a part of this?
Oh, that's a great question. So if you want to volunteer for Fezana, there's a few ways you can do that. If you want to be on a committee, you can reach out to a committee lead. You just have to go on fezana.org, click on committees, and then take a look at all the committees that exist. And if one really interests you, reach out to the contact info there and ask them if they're looking for volunteers. Now, there will be a chance that they're not, because a lot of our committees are already packed with volunteers, which we're really grateful for. And some of them don't need more support, but maybe some of them do, and they would be gladly happy to take your efforts. So it doesn't hurt to just reach out. Like, that's all you have to do. The first step is just reach out to them and ask them if they need help. And if you get on board, then that's great. And we're so grateful to have you. If you are youth, so if you're 35 or under, you are welcome to volunteer for ZINA, which is the Zoroastrian Youth of North America. You can reach out to them at youth@fezana.org. Ideally, you are based in North America for this. If not, that's fine. You can still reach out and let them know in what capacity you want to get involved, and that is completely fine. Yeah, I think that's the best way. Other than that, to get involved with Fezana, the best way is just attend our events. We would love to have you there. You do not have to necessarily take a leadership role or volunteer role to support us. Just showing up is already such an incredible thing, and we just want to see that community grow. So come out to our events. We host lots of online sessions currently. Anybody from across the world can attend. We do our best to make sure that it is accommodative for all time zones, but it is going to be tricky, of course. But for example, if you're based in India, a lot of our events are like around evening time for people in Mumbai, for example, but I think you can still attend. So yeah, just attend our events, attend our sessions, and follow us on social media so you can stay up to date for all our events that happen. Everything gets posted there. And you can also subscribe to our e-newsletter. You just have to go to fezana.org, scroll to the bottom. There's a section there and you can subscribe and you can get all the up-to-date news about our events and sessions that are happening.
Correct. So I hope all those audiences who are listening to us, they follow Fezana's social media handles, which is Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, and Twitter, and also WZC's social media handles, which is again, Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, and Twitter. And if you want to register for WZC event, then after this entire session, I'm going to put up the website on our description box. You can click over there and you can go ahead with your registration process. Along with this, you know, since we have spoken so much about Fezana and the WZC and the kind of a work that both the organization does, it reminds me of the core Zoroastrianism, like, you know, the three ashas, which is humakta, hukta, and huvarashta, which stands for good thought, good words, and good deeds. And practicing charity to keep one's soul's aligned with asha and, you know, thus spreading awareness, spreading love, and spreading positivity. So with this, we are ending with our conversation round. So Tanya, it's time for us to move to our next round, which is a quick fire round. So the first question that I'm shooting up to you is, which is your favorite movie?
I love that question. It's so tough. I watch so many. One that always stays in my mind is the Florida Project.
Okay.
Highly recommend you just go watch it. Won't spoil it, but it's probably one of the best films I've ever seen in my life, and you probably will cry. You'll
Okay.
laugh
Where
and
do you
cry.
where do you see yourself in next 5 years?
Making movies.
Okay. Okay. Now, when it comes to Fezana, where do you see Fezana in next 5 years?
I see more youth in leadership positions.
That's amazing.
That's what I see.
Now it's time to switch to our one-word round. So I'll just say one word and you have to answer it one word itself. So to begin with, Zoroastrianism.
Fire.
Love.
Kindness.
Valentine's Day, which is tomorrow.
Oh, my cousin's birthday.
Okay.
That's like
So-
it's not in one word.
Okay. Okay.
But
Anyway,
it's her
happy birthday to
birthday.
your cousin.
A Valentine's Day always for me is Shireen's birthday. Yeah.
Okay. So happy birthday, Shireen, to you from the entire streaming live and from the
Aw.
entire Zoroastrian community. Okay. Next question would be something around on humanity.
Cohesiveness.
Okay. Sincerity.
Honesty.
Okay. If I have to include 3 words together, which is good thought, good words, and good deeds, one word for that.
Asha.
Okay. So that's beautiful. So before we end our session, Tanya, it would be great if you have a message to give to the world. One message from your end.
I think I always say this, but tomorrow's Zoroastrian legacy is yours to build. You can get involved in any way you are able to get involved. You do not have to go all big and elaborate and put all your time into things. Whatever capacity you're able to provide to your community, please provide it, whether that's with your time, with your money, with your resources, whatever you can do. I think that is just such an incredible thing, just to kind of give up a little part of your time or money to support your community in any way. And it just takes one person to make such an incredible difference. So please remember that tomorrow's legacy is yours to build. Get involved in any way you can. And even if it's the smallest thing, like showing up, that's all you have to do.
Beautiful message for our community members. Thank you, Tanya, for being on my show. And I really thank entire Fezana team and WZC team for the support that you have provided. And it's an honor for me to interview you and to talk about Fezana and WZC. So I hope the Parsis from India, they join and be a part of WZC event and stay connected with us for more updates. And thank you, Tanya. Thank you once again.
Thank you, Afrin. This was great. I appreciate you inviting me. Thank you so much.
Thank you. And thank you everyone for joining us. And you can have a look at a session anytime, anywhere from the world, whichever part of country that in the world that you are living in. And thank you so much. And I'll see you all next time. Bye-bye.